Yeah.
All right, hi everybody. Welcome to the Chaos Metric Working Group. The last meeting in the end of last year, we spent a lot of time kind of going through because we had retemplated a lot of our metrics. We had spent a lot of time, Sean and Kevin and Damien
Yeah.
was here too. Do you remember all this? And Georg was here. We went through this big, we went through all of our metrics just to kind of see what, thank you, needed to be done for each of our metrics. And so that's kind of on the agenda for today. Look at that. We only have those to get through today. But first, Georg had proposed a new metric. Bring it up here. Name favorite metric.
Yeah. This is what happens when you leave it to me to create the question. The question is lame.
It's pretty funny. All right, so this is issue comments. I think this is a pretty straightforward metric. The number of comments made on an issue during a given period. Level of interaction, discussion being done on a project. Tracking issue comments.
So in the case of this one, is this a metric referenced in a model that is not currently defined? Is that what?
Um, maybe.
Okay. All right. All right. That's just trying to follow along on the home game.
Yeah, this it's possible. And for no other reason that this also just seems like a fairly obvious metric.
Mm-hmm.
Like doesn't seem very compelling in a good way. I mean that in a good way. People's thoughts are on this.
So referencing back to our last meeting, is this one that we would suggest go into other considerations in a metric model?
No. This would just be like a straight like new metric on
Okay.
the CHAOSS website. Just kind of
Okay.
like old fashioned build a metric, publish metric.
Okay.
So the question is does this seem like a reasonable metric?
I think so. I mean, I've been asked, like I've added commit comment data to Augur in the last 3 months because people have asked for it. So
Okay.
I know, well, says issue comments, so maybe I'm
What were the comments that you were adding?
for commits. I don't know why I thought we were talking about commit comments, but yeah, issue comments, there's two ways that it's used. One is just a total account because that's a signal usually of importance to some people at least. And then there's also the ability to analyze the comments themselves. But
Okay. So that comment doesn't seem like a real objection by any
no,
means.
yeah, no, it's not an objection at all. I guess it's me thinking out loud about the
Yeah.
problem.
Okay. Kevin, Don, peculiar. Any thoughts on this metric?
Yeah, I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
There's
Yeah.
not a whole lot to it. Okay. Um, well, I'll merge that then. I personally didn't have any objections to it either. So okay. Okay, I can do that for this. Okay. All right. So here's our bigger issue for the day. Let's see. And it's mostly, would really like to just kind of ask workflow from people. Give me a second here.
Yeah, well, while you're doing that, recalling from just what I see on that page, the workflow could be something like asynchronously updating the ones that we think need to be updated, because it looks like a lot of them don't follow the template and just need a template update. I don't know if I'm interpreting that correctly or not.
You are, yeah, I think so. So we just basically last time we had a bunch of people just kind of start going through the metrics as we did that big retemplating effort to try to identify. We had some formatting issues that were sometimes like on the web, that had to be handled through WordPress. Sometimes one of the really common ones that was that in that want to know more section, there was the visualization header, but we didn't have any visualizations. So just like removing that header because it's an optional header anyway.
Uh-huh.
And then to your point, Sean, like some of them weren't necessarily following the template. So like if I go to conversion rate, so like this one got missed as part of the new template. We have that drop down now that says want to know more, and it just focuses on the description and the objectives. So this needs to be put into the new template. We have a whole bunch of them, not a whole bunch, I guess 4, 5 that aren't in the new template. 6. And Sean, is your suggestion to just kind of work asynchronously here to try to get them into a template?
Yeah, I think if what would be helpful is if we had a link to the current template, and then I mean, I could maybe. I'm trying to think of the workflow, because there's once you know the metrics that need to be updated, we need to know what the template is, and then we need to change that to fit the template, obviously. And is the place, and I guess this is where I'm not sure what the workflow is for creating a metric anymore. Are we going to create these in Markdown? Is that still the final step, or are we not? Are we still doing that? I haven't published a metric in a while.
So we'd be able to make the change, in GitHub.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
And that should end up on the page. And then that's what I was saying. Like sometimes there's a little bit of funkiness in terms of how WordPress picks it up that Elizabeth just has to do manually, just in terms of like.
Basically, just want us to PR them directly in.
Yep. And the deal is we have a lot.
Yeah.
We have a whole lot. Some of them are good, you know what I mean? So like they were given the A-OK by people. But others they need some spacing issues, remove visualizations, whatever it might be.
I mean, to me, this looks like, hey, we've got a pretty good inventory, and I think we just need people to churn through it. And so I don't know, like I could do a couple or 3 between now and the next meeting. I would just, like I said, the one thing I just need a pointer to the current metric template, because I want to make sure I'm using the right one.
Let me grab that.
And I don't know that I don't know that I can be certain I know where the right current one is.
All right, let me track that down. Other thoughts on kind of workflow here? I mean, these are supposed to be working meetings, so do people want to take on a few of these metrics and just issue some PRs if it's not even at the template level yet, but just like removing the visualizations better?
Can we like take it on before the next meeting?
Instead of doing it in this meeting?
Yeah, because it's much, but we can still do it. But I think it's much.
We can.
We can.
Do people have an interest in doing this work? Because
Yeah, I mean, as long as I know where
Yeah.
to look for the template, and then I can find the metric and make edits, and it gets to be a pretty straightforward thing. So my thought was I would take like 2 or 3 between now and the next meeting, and then that exercise would be about if I get stuck anywhere, I can ask questions.
Okay, so
Yeah, I'll share the template with you, Sean, and I'll help with that too.
okay, so maybe thanks, Peculiar. Yeah, if you could share the template I just so Sean. Bless you, I think.
Thanks. I was hoping no one would notice. I didn't have time to check.
I was typing it, I noticed. Peculiar, do you have access to the minutes right now? Could you just put the template in here?
No, I don't have access to the minute. I entered this, I can see it.
You can put it in the chat and then I'll add it.
Okay.
I'm just going to assign, Sean, I'm just going to give you conversion rate.
Yep.
I'm going to give you the top 3. Is that okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, some of them looks good. So what I'm gonna do is to move those that looks good downwards, and then leave the ones that I'm working on upwards.
Wait, what are you going to do, Peculiar?
I said some of them are okay, so I'm going to move those ones that, oh, it's better to move those ones that are okay downwards, and then we'll leave the ones we're working on upwards. So
Okay.
I'm thinking.
Conflict resolution. Yeah, there are just, okay, so take a look. Sean, I gave you the top 3. Peculiar,
Yep.
the bottom 3 here in the minutes to retemplate. What I can do is I'll go through kind of the set here, and I'll remove visualizations. Okay. I think there are a couple metrics here. For example, let's take a look, branch life cycle. So a proper template, but the idea here is like just remove this header. So I'll go back through and do all of those before the next meeting. Does that work?
Yes.
Okay. There are a couple times where we had no references or no contributors. We hold off on that. Maybe we just start with the templating and the visualizations. And then I should ping Elizabeth on a few of the formatting issues, because I think some of those have to be done in WordPress.
All right.
Okay. Okay, pretty exciting meeting. Oops. This is it. This is why I think we can merge it with metric models. Like we just need to, like there's just a lot of like little work that we need to do. And that's about it. What makes Peculiar.
I'm also adding some of this discussion into the channel, partly for my own reference, partly to ask questions.
Okay. Okay. Well, is everybody good? I'm going to stop the sharing, maybe stop my meeting, or stop the meeting.
Stop recording, you mean?
Yeah.
Or
Seems like
just-
we.
Or kick us all out?
Both. So, well, hi, Georg. I'm going to merge your issue comments. We had a brief discussion on that.
Okay, perfect.
Hey, you know,
yeah.
CHAOSScon is occurring during the next meeting.
Oh. Would you, if you could have those retemplated before
Yeah.
that? I mean,
Yeah,
then
I can.
we could just still kind of keep that as a deadline to get these templates done and the visualization stuff done, but we can definitely cancel that meeting.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I can be here by myself and just let the world know that the templating is done and the visualizations have been removed. Peculiar, would 2 weeks work for you on the templating?
Oh, I didn't get that.
Do you think you could get those 3 metrics in the new template within the next 2 weeks? Does that work for you
Sure.
schedule wise? Okay, great. All right, everybody. Simple meeting.
All
I'm
right.
gonna go walk a dog because it's warm today. So
Yeah, it's going to be warm today here too, and then it's going to suck for like 4 days.
until then,
Yeah. Enjoy it while you can.
exactly. All right.
Here,
All
I
right,
can
bye,
show you
everyone.
my dog. He's
Bye.
ready
Bye,
to
doggo.
go out for
All right.
walks.
All right. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at that
Alright.
dog walking time.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Is-
All right.
Take
Enjoy.
care.
Bye
Bye,
bye.
everybody.